Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Adam Sperber with the Sperber Group. You decided you want to sell your house. Here I am to step you through the process from start to finish. Everything along the way, hopefully answer all of your questions. So let's just say hypothetically you call me in to take a look at your house and help you sell it. Let's take a look at what that looks like. On the first visit, I'm gonna come in. My goal here is to get to know you. I want you to get to know me, and I wanna understand what your house has to offer. I wanna understand how big it is, how many bedrooms, all the ins and outs of your house. What this will allow me to do is down the line, when I come back for my second visit later, it'll allow me to run specific comps to give me a good price point of what I'm comfortable your house will sell for and what it is worth. The other thing that I'm gonna be telling you on the first visit is some of the unique things that we offer at our brokerage that other people don't. Anybody can come in, anybody can take a look at your house, anybody can take photos and put it on the MLS, which does sync with Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin and all of those websites. It's also about what's gonna happen when we get multiple offers. How are we gonna market your house to get the multiple offers and negotiate and get you the best price possible? What are we gonna do that's unique? But remember, on the first visit, I'm not gonna discuss numbers with you. I'm not gonna talk to you about price. I'm not gonna tell you what I think your house will sell for. The reason is this is my time to get to know your house, to really understand it. While I'm here on the first visit, I will end up probably taking a few pictures on my phone. Those are not the ones that are gonna go online, I promise you that. This is just for me to refresh my memory when I'm looking at comps. I wanna make sure I price your house accordingly. So one of the other things I wanna understand is, what's your plan? Are you gonna rent? Are you moving out of the area? Are you looking to downsize, upsize, get a bigger house? What's going on here? The reason I like to ask that is because that's gonna change our strategy. So let's say you're looking to buy another house. We have to time both the sale of this house and the purchase of the new house perfectly. We need to make sure that everything meshes up, and we do have tools that make it a lot easier. So I work very closely with a lender. His name is Mike. He's with Embrace Home Loans, and he's got a unique program that'll actually give you a bridge loan, essentially, and give you 6 months to sell your house. A lot of people don't have the money to put down on a down payment on a new house until they sell their old house. Totally understandable. He's got a lot of programs that can help you with that, and that's one of the things that I can refer you to him and let him discuss further in detail as to what he has to offer. So now that we've spent some quality time together and I got to learn about your house, I got to learn about you, you had to learn about me. Next step is to come back a second time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take everything I learned about your house and I'm gonna use that to run comps and do an analysis of your house so I can understand exactly what I'm comfortable that your house will sell for. I'm the type of person that likes to under-promise and over-deliver. I'm not gonna tell you a pie-in-the-sky number with the hopes that I'll get that. I'm gonna be more conservative and tell you what I'm comfortable your house will sell for. Of course, my end goal is to get you more money. Remember, we're on the same team here. I get paid off of commission, which is based off of the sale of the house. I wanna sell your house for every dollar more that I can, but it doesn't do anybody any good if your house sits on the market because it's priced incorrectly. I'm gonna show you 3 sets of comps. I'm gonna show you what's currently on the market, what's under contract, and I'm gonna show you what's sold recently. The reason I do that is active listings, that is your competition. Those are the houses you're going up against. If they've been sitting there for a while, that tells us a lot. Under contract, it shows what future comps are gonna be. Those are gonna close in a month, 2 months, 3 months. Those are gonna be other comps down the line. The other thing I do is sold properties because those are true comps. That is really what an appraiser at some point is gonna look at. They're gonna look at properties that have sold recently. Remember, if a property closed 4 years ago, that's not a very good comp. We're looking for things that have closed within the last 30, 60, 90 days, and they have to be similar condition, similar layout, similar bedroom count, similar location, things like that to your house. So now I've presented the numbers to you. We're gonna have a very transparent conversation. I wanna get you as much money as possible, but we have to be realistic. I'm gonna go based off of actual facts of what has sold and what I'm confident your house will sell for. So the other thing I wanna talk to you about at this point is I wanna talk to you about what my marketing is going to look at. Anybody can take photos of your house. Everybody hires a professional photographer. Well, they should at least. And then they put it on the MLS, and then it goes to Zillow and Realtor and all of those websites. That's not really unique. That's kind of the bare minimum of what you should be doing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a multi-level marketing strategy. So of course we're gonna do photos, we're gonna do drone footage, we're gonna do a virtual tour, we're gonna do a floor plan. We really go all out because your house is gonna be on the internet and most people are gonna see your house for the first time on the internet. And what's gonna bring them in? Good pictures, good content. We really wanna draw them into your house. Before your house even hits Zillow and all of those websites, before we even put it on the MLS, what we're gonna do is we're gonna market your house to other people in your neighborhood. We're gonna do that digitally and we're gonna do that physically with mailers as well. The reason we do all of this is we wanna make sure that every single neighbor is aware that your house is coming to market even before we put it on the market. We wanna build up hype. We want a lot of people showing up to that first open house. Our goal is to get you offers immediately. So also at this meeting, what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss the listing agreement. Very important, this is a contract, but Once again, I'm very transparent on everything that goes into this. Our standard listing agreement is a minimum of 6 months. Inside this listing agreement, it's going to reflect exactly what the commissions are, the timing, essentially what your expectations are of me. One of the things I really want to discuss is commissions. It's really a hot topic, especially given the lawsuit that occurred about a year and a half ago or so. So there was a major lawsuit that changed a lot of things in the real estate industry. But one thing to keep in mind is sellers are still traditionally paying the buyer's agent commission. So what that means is you might be paying 4, 5, 6% total, but a portion of that is going to a buyer's agent. The reason you want to pay that is because a buyer's agent might have an agreement with their client that they're only showing houses where the seller is paying their commission, so the buyers don't have unexpected commissions to pay. We will be signing other disclosures as well on top of the original contract, but the main listing agreement is what's the most important. Now, the real fun begins. So now that you've signed the listing agreement, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on decluttering your house. Get rid of stuff you haven't touched in years. Take advantage of this. Less is more. When it comes to, for instance, your kitchen, your countertops, in an ideal world, there'll be nothing on your countertops except maybe a soap dispenser and a paper towel holder. Get rid of as much stuff as you can. I don't care if you have to put it in your cabinets, put it in your garage, put it in your mom's house, put it in your car, whatever you need to do to clear it out. It's gonna look so much better when we take the photos and when we get people in there. Also, while we're talking about decluttering, one of the things I'm going to help you with is figuring out what you should do to increase value in your home. That could be doing touch-up paint, that could be cleaning certain things, that could be doing a deep clean of a rug or a carpet. I'm never really going to recommend that you redo a kitchen or a bathroom or anything like that, but I might recommend that you paint it or you regrout the tile or something like that. We want people to come in here and we want them to be wowed. We don't want them to come in here and be concerned about anything. So let's say you had a previous leak that came from the bathroom up above and came into the room down below. You might have a mark on the ceiling. I'm never gonna tell you to hide an active defect in your house, but considering that you've fixed the defect, you fixed the leaky pipe, you just didn't repaint the ceiling, paint it, clean it up. The reason you're gonna do that is because we don't want buyers coming into your house and asking that question, I wonder what happened here. So now that you've done some touch-up paint, you've cleaned out your house, you've gotten rid of all that crap that you don't need anymore, now we're ready to schedule the photographer. If anybody walks into your house and starts taking photos with their phone, run. That's not the way to do it. You want professional photos done. So we're gonna have a professional photographer come in, they're gonna take photos, they're gonna take drone shots, they're gonna take the virtual tour, the floor plan, they're gonna do everything. Then what's gonna happen is we're gonna get those back. Could be 50, could be 100 photos. We are not putting all of those on the MLS. We are only gonna pick and choose the ones that we want to. Next, we're gonna use our designers to enhance the beautiful features of your home. We're gonna green up the grass, we're gonna blue up the sky, we're gonna make your house shine. So now that we have the photos done, we are ready to bring your house to market. We're gonna pre-market your house to your neighbors. We're gonna do it on the internet. We're gonna put it on Instagram and Facebook, and we're gonna use SEO to bring people to your listing online. We're gonna do everything we can to build hype around your house. The next step is then we're gonna put your house on the MLS. Multiple listing service is essentially, for a realtor, our version of Zillow. We put it on there, and then what it does is it goes to Zillow and Realtor and Redfin and all of those different websites that you search every day. So I generally like to list on a Wednesday or Thursday, and there's a reason behind that. The reason I like to list on those days is because then I do an open house on Saturday or Saturday and Sunday, and it gives people ample time to add it to their calendars so we can have a good turnout for your open house. So by planning those open houses, giving a few days notice, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get you offers on the first weekend. And if we don't, it's not a big deal. Recently, I have a house that's under contract, $100,000 over asking. It took us almost 4 weeks to get that offer. So just because it's been sitting there for a little bit doesn't mean we can't get you top dollar. So as we're showing your house, our goal is to get feedback from every client. We want to know what they liked and what they didn't like. The only way we can overcome those obstacles of what they didn't like is to understand what they didn't like. If we don't know, we can't fix it. Congratulations, you got an offer. Maybe you got multiple offers. What do we do now? We are gonna sit down and we're gonna discuss the offers. We're gonna figure out what's the best offer for your house. Maybe it's terms, maybe it's timing, maybe it's dollar amount, maybe it's a cash versus a mortgage offer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of that information, I'm gonna give it all to you, we're gonna discuss it, and I'm gonna try to help you make the best decision that works for you and your family. Now, we accept one of the offers. What you're gonna do is you're gonna physically sign off on the offer. And then this is when attorney review starts. Wait, what exactly is attorney review? Well, I'm glad you asked. Attorney review is a time period when your attorney, the seller's attorney, and the buyer's attorney negotiate the terms of the contract together. It's just as important for you as a seller as it is for a buyer. It tightens up the language of the contract. Remember, I'm not an attorney. I fill in the blanks on a standard form contract. It's up to the attorneys to tighten it up so it meets both of your requirements. They can also make it more specific to your particular transaction. Is there appraisal language that we're putting in there? Are the buyers waiving the inspection or limiting the inspection? What are we doing that's different than the norm? That's all going to be added in during attorney review. You have 3 days from the date the contract is signed by everybody to enter attorney review. But once you enter attorney review, there's no set amount of time that you remain in it. It could be a day, it could be a week. Typically, I see it about 5 to 7 business days, but it could be a month. There's no set amount of time. Once both attorneys are happy with the changes, then we go under contract. This is typically when the buyer's deposit is due. The buyer's deposit is traditionally held in the seller's, your attorney's trust account, in an escrow account. The purpose of the deposit is to make sure that the buyer follows through with all the terms of the agreement that you guys made. They typically have 3 main outs to this contract: appraisal, mortgage, and inspection. But remember, those might have been eliminated or limited earlier based on the contract that you guys agreed to. What happens now? This is typically when the buyer is going to formally apply for their mortgage and when the buyer is going to do their inspection of the house. There's really not that much that you as a seller have to do at this point. The only thing that we're going to be doing shortly is getting the certificate of occupancy from the municipality, from the town. The buyer is going to be doing their mortgage application. They're going to be doing their inspection, which typically they have between 10 to 15 days to get their inspections done, depending on the terms in the contract. And they typically have 30 days to get a mortgage commitment, a letter from their lender stating that based on the list of conditions, they're going to give their client the money. The buyer is probably going to come with a list of inspection items, but we're a team. We're here to figure this out together. Do not get concerned. We're going to figure this out. We're going to go through each item that they're requesting, and we're going to find a way to make everybody happy here. What happens if the appraisal comes in low? Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. If the appraisal comes in low, once again, we figure it out. You could either come down to the appraisal price, the buyer can come up to the contract price, or you can meet in the middle. It's all open for negotiation. But just because it underappraised does not mean you have to sell it at that value. So the buyers are going to come in with a laundry list of inspection items that they're requesting. They could either be requesting you fix them, or they could be asking for a credit. Really all depends. Just because they ask for $10,000 worth of stuff doesn't mean they're getting $10,000 worth of stuff. It's all a negotiation. You ask for the sun and the moon and you settle for something else. The main thing that we're going to be doing at this point is we're going to be applying for the Certificate of Occupancy. This is required by state law. This is when the town is going to send an inspector in to make sure the house is safe. They're going to check for open permits. They're going to check for missing handrails. They're also going to be checking for smoke detectors, that they're all up to code and they're not too old. They're going to be checking for carbon monoxide detectors. So I'll be going to town hall. I'll be applying for this on your behalf, and I'll step you through the process. Some towns are stricter than others. Some towns have different requirements, but I will help guide you throughout this process. So now we're ready for the closing. On the day of the closing, the buyers will traditionally do a walkthrough of the property. What a walkthrough is to make sure the house is in the same condition it was the last time that they saw it. Remember, the house does not have to be delivered spotless. It has to be delivered in what's called broom clean condition. That's what the contract calls for. By this point, you should have all of your stuff out of the house. The only stuff remaining in the house should be things that were previously agreed upon. Maybe you agreed to leave some furniture or something like that. You're gonna leave your keys, and I'm gonna help coordinate getting the keys to the buyers. The buyers are gonna go to the closing. They're gonna sign a stack of papers, a lot more than you have to sign as a seller. They're gonna sign that stack of papers, and then once the funds are transferred, it's their house. Your proceeds will typically be wired to your bank account. You could also get a check if you'd like, but typically they're wired, and congratulations. You're now homeless, and that's it. You just sold your house. That's the process from start to finish. I know there's a lot of information in there, but remember, you do not have to remember it all. That is why you have us as your professionals to step you through the process. Remember, selling in New Jersey, it's very straightforward when you have the right people. If you're thinking about selling in Bergen County or North Jersey in general, and you want somebody that's gonna be transparent throughout the entire process and market your house the right way, give me a call. I'll come walk through your house, I'll give you realistic numbers, and we'll come up with a game plan together. As always, drop any questions you have in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And subscribe, because I'm gonna keep helping you step you through the process and teach you how to build wealth through real estate.